I'm on Patreon, and Patreon is a platform where I will upload interesting videos where you can learn astrology. Connect with me on Patreon and we will grow, and I will give you much more deep insights on Vedic astrology, and lot more secrets will be shared there. Aries. For Aries ascendant, Mercury will be in the 12th house. So this is a movement of Mercury from 12th to 1st, which can trigger movement from a foreign country, which can make you come back to your own country, to your own native place. This is also the time when, because of your financial losses, you might take some drastic steps and bring major changes in your life, in your financial life, which is in fact a good thing. And the movement of Jupiter in the 2nd house shows that with this efforts, you will be able to expand your savings. So focus more on savings, focus more on your essential items. And Mercury and movement of Mercury, which is your 3rd and 6th lord, by the way, from 12th to 1st also shows a path to recovery with respect to diseases. Now your ascendant lord will be in the 12th house, which has another impact on Mercury. This can mean that if you are agitated, and if out of agitation, if you give a knee-jerk reaction, whether it is verbal or non-verbal, financial, or even in your personal life, this can create losses, which you will have to allow Jupiter to fill the gap. So instead of you creating losses and then going from minus to zero, show calmness, stillness, and pray to Bhagwan Ganesh. Taurus. Now for Taurus, Mercury will be ruling the 2nd and 5th house. This Mercury is in the 11th house, going in the 12th house. Now this means that this movement of Mercury going debilitated, going in the 11th house, shows that you will try to fulfill all your wishes. But that will mean unnecessary expense. That means you might burn your cash too much too soon. You might be able to go for shopping and you will be able to fulfill your dreams. You will buy the dream car, your dream phone, your dream laptop, or go for a dream vacation. Everything is fine, but this can create a hole in your pocket, and this can create a lot of losses in your life. Why? Because if you observe your ascendant lord, which is in the 12th house, and Mercury's movement, which is your 2nd lord, towards the 12th house, shows that 12th house is taking a lot of impact, which means expenses. Donate few green items, books to the children, and if you can donate food, it will be a great charity. On the other hand, people working in MNCs, working for IT and telecom, will see great boost, but you need to be a little careful about the communication you do in your workplace, especially written communications. Gemini. Now in case of Gemini, Mercury rules your ascendant and it goes in the 10th house. Now, being debilitated in the 10th house, being with Mars and Rahu, shows verbal fight, or you want to speak up in your career and you are unable to speak up. Now, this can create a lot of tension. This can create uncomfortable situation. Maybe there is something happening at your home which you want to talk to your supervisor, your bosses, and you want to take leaves, but you can't because of the work pressure. So see, when Mars and Rahu and Mercury happens to sit in the 10th house, it is obviously Mars and Rahu which will dictate the terms. That means there are going to be certain situations, maybe at home or at office, for which you will have to do a little bit of sacrifice. Now allow Jupiter to come in the 12th house, allow Mercury to go in the 11th house, and then make changes if necessary. But this Mercury transit means you will just have to go with the flow and allow the changes to come in your career. But however, chances of promotion, chances of success, cracking, competitive examination, all that is possible during this time, because Rahu is going to give that extra push to Mercury. Just you need to know that one thing is to climb the mountain and one thing is assuming that you can climb. Don't assume anything. Cancer ascendant. Now for Cancer ascendant, Mercury will be moving in your 9th house. Now a debilitated Mercury with Rahu coming direct out of retrograde motion, is a kind of a positive change. It's a change which will initiate unexpected travels, but something that is needed. Now you have to understand that this is going to create a certain level of confusion because Mercury is the dispositor of Ketu. That too the dispositor of your third house. So it can create a kind of an uncertainty in your own courage and action, and you might do something half-hearted, or you will take a leap of faith assuming that you will be able to complete. Don't do that. If you don't know whether it is within your capacity, within your reach or not, wait for some time, take necessary precaution, prepare a plan and then take a call. But I know that in certain cases you don't get that leverage, you don't get that freedom to take a quick call, to take a late call, strategize and plan. In such cases, what you will have to do is you will have to have a rough estimate whether you can achieve or not, and then keep a buffer with you. If you keep a buffer, you will be able to achieve more. Be careful while you are interacting with your guru, with your father, with your supervisors. This Mercury in the 9th can also create problems in your legs. So exercise and do yoga regularly. Leo. Now for Leo, Buddha is a very, very important planet. It is 2nd and 11th Lord, which means it rules finances. Now it is going direct, although debilitated, in your 8th house, which is a good sign. This means this Buddha now has the tendency to bring you out from any financial distress. This is the time when you will take difficult choices, you will take difficult call, and this can create a very good financial energy around you, which will result eventually in growth and positivity. Just that don't try your luck. It is a very bad time for speculative gains. It is a very bad time for someone who plays with the stock market and you want to get quick return out of it. You can get addicted to gambling. So there are a lot of games that can, create this gambling addiction. Don't do that. Also, when 2nd Lord is coming out of retrogression, it is going with Rahu, having a separation of Rahu. This is going to give changes in the family, and be careful while you communicate or speak your heart in front of family members. You should know how they will react. Act accordingly. Now in case of Virgo, Mercury rules your 10th house, 1st house. It goes in the 4th house, 7th house and goes direct while debilitated. So this only means that you will choose silence when there are conflicts in marriage and conflicts in business. But on the other hand, there can be an enmity or jealousy or kind of vengeance being brewed up in your heart because of the criticism that you face, because of the constant changes that you have to go through. In that case, my recommendation to you will be just have patience and allow Mars to cross Rahu, and then things will start becoming simpler, much more easier. Allow Jupiter to come in the 9th house, which will happen in the 1st of May. And then Jupiter will aspect all your trine, 1st, 5th and the 3rd house also, which eventually solves a lot of problems. So on one hand, there can be nervousness. On one hand, there can be excitement. On one hand, there can be argument because of misunderstandings. But on the other hand, if you show a little bit of maturity and wait for Jupiter to stabilize in the sign of Taurus, you will be out of your problem in no time. Sometimes such debilitated and direct Mercury under the influence of Rahu can be exactly what you need to end your sorrow. Now in case of Libra, Mercury rules your 9th house, Mercury rules your 12th house, and this Buddha is in the 6th house, and this Mercury is debilitated with Rahu. So this is very good for someone who wants to do something in the field of competitive examination, in the field of AI, in the field of alternative energies, in the field of oceanography. If you want to explore new territories, if you are a scientist, or if you are someone who works on the merger and acquisitions and niche banking areas, or if you are into IT and communications. It's a very good time for you. For you, it also means that new job opportunity will come, foreign travel movements will happen, and if you look to settle down abroad for work or even for education, very much possible. But you may have to learn a foreign language, which might make it a little difficult. But still, you should never forget your roots and allow Mercury to work in a fashion where you get what you deserve, but also you are helping everybody else. Do not forget, 6th house is the house of service. 12th house is the house of donations. When donation hits with service, 12th lord in 6th house, you must cancel your prarabdha by donation. Constant mantra chanting of Om Gam Ganapate Namah is also recommended. Scorpio. For Scorpio, Mercury rules your 8th house and 11th house, and this goes in the 5th house in direct motion, comes in contact with Rahu. This is a good position. It's a good for students. It's good for someone who wants to learn something different, learn something new. More like a thought experiment. Great time for physicists, great time for someone who is in the field of mathematics, theoretical knowledge, or if you want to do PhD, if you want to upgrade yourself. Good time to learn a new language, good time to learn or move into the field of software engineering. 5th house Mercury is also a kind of Budh which will promote the notion of stock market, being rich very quickly, finding a shortcut to growth. See, that won't happen. It may give you a few glimpses, few success initially, but later on it will create financial losses. What you should do is you should create revenue stream, multiple revenue stream, and you should learn how to go in that particular path, but without taking any risk. Risk should be avoided at all costs. Sagittarius. For Sagittarius, Mercury rules your 7th house and 10th house. So what does it mean? It means that both career and marriage comes to a little bit of relaxation. Rahu gives you new ideas. So new ventures are possible. New career changes are possible. You buying new property is possible. Mars and Rahu and Mercury in the 4th house shows the environment in the house should be a little bit energetic. So people who have a bad southeast, people who have water containers or water fountains or anything related to water in the southeastern direction of your house will see trouble in this time. Be careful. You need to control both fire and water energies. Best thing is to do pranayam, where you control both the sun and the moon channel, Ida and Pingala. Now, be careful about your sleep. Nightmares might come. Dreams of snakes might come to a lot of people. Don't venture out after midnight in lonely places, and try to chant Hanuman Chalisa every day. Capricorn. Now for Capricorn, Mercury will be direct but debilitated in your 3rd house, and it rules your 9th house. Being the 6th and 9th lord coming in the 3rd house shows that it will create more confusion and can make you lack willpower. But because Rahu is there, sometimes Rahu can act as that much needed force that does not come from the usual realm, that comes from the divine. Now, if you observe, your 11th lord Mars is also there. So definitely it means that through your own initiatives, you will be able to follow your passion and do something different. It's like a kind of an action that creates difference, however small the action may be. What you will have to do is you will have to be careful about your day-to-day routine and work on the day-to-day routine, like right from the morning, what you do when you get up till what you sleep. Instead of focusing on the bigger plans, work on the smaller fractions. And you will see that once those smaller parts get integrated, your life becomes cheerful. Chant Om Gam Ganapate Namah every day, at least 108 times. Aquarius. Now in case of Aquarius, Mercury rules your 5th house, it rules your 8th house, it goes direct in the 2nd house. So this kind of resolves a lot of family trauma, family issues, financial issues. It kind of gives you that headroom to work with. And therefore, sometimes you just let go and you choose to ignore. While the chaos is around you, you are still, you kind of become immune to it, and you have this Raksha Kavach, the shield around you that protects you from all the negative vibrations around you. That is exactly what you will be getting and what you will be doing. Chanting Ganesh Kavach during this time every day, morning and evening, is a very good remedy. And if you focus more on handling your finances and preparing for long term, like 3-4 year plan during this time, it will be good. Why? Because Rahu is also sitting there. Sometimes, you know, this extra edge, this extra information is helpful, is handy. Now, this Budh can also create unnecessary expenses and gastrointestinal disturbances. So eat right and sleep right. But do not, when you are speaking, this can create controversies. So sleep right and use single pillow or correct your posture of your sleep. Otherwise, it can create spine related problems. Pisces. Now, in case of Pisces, Mercury is on your ascendant. Definitely you are the one having the maximum impact. You will also get the experience of Mars and Rahu. Now, if we only focus to Mercury, we are only targeting 7th and 4th house. So this can create unnecessary issues in your marriage, maybe because you are focusing on yourself more than your life partner. Your thought process is not where you are, but it is somewhere else. So this mental relocation will happen a lot, which can affect individuals who want concentration. People with ADHD, people with attention deficit syndromes, if that is what it is called, I'm not a doctor, will have more problems. But so what should you do? You should spend less time on social media, more time on books. You should go into that imaginary world and see all positivity happening to you, because you can imagine and manifest positive things when the energies like Mars is in the 1st house. Take care of hypertension, because this is the time to relax, not to stress yourself. Go to a spa, take Shirodhara or head massage, put oil on your head if possible, and try to reduce your stress. Watch comedy movies. This will help you a lot, managing the house, the marriage, the office and everything. And if you're an elderly, then what you should do, you should focus on Ganesh mantra, or you start writing some novel or story or anything that comes from your heart. And this will allow Mercury to have, maybe you will forget what you write, but sometimes the cosmos remembers it. So speak wisely, and this is an overall personality development, and sometimes a little bit of acceptance helps you become water, and then you are out of the problem. Because when you see 2 mountains, you can't break the mountain. So you need to become water to cross the mountain.